Welcome to a new episode of Ausfahrt.tv in English. We are here in Portugal today for you and only for you, and not because of this beautiful site here. We were invited by Skoda. Skoda, yes, the car manufacturer from the Czech Republic. I remember when I was a boy, I was kind of, laughing and giggling whenever someone mentioned, hey, why don't you buy a Skoda? Because they were like cheap cars, very cheap cars and low quality cars. With the fall of the Berlin Wall, this whole thing changed for Skoda as well as for Volkswagen, because Volkswagen supported Skoda more and more, and in 2001 they took over Skoda in the whole company. So Skoda is nowadays 100% company of Volkswagen. The success story of this car, the Skoda Fabia, started in 1999, and the second generation was released in 2007, and here we are 2014, and we present you the newest version of the Skoda Fabia, which is, by the way, at least in Germany, a bestseller. By the way, the Skoda Fabia is not only sold in Europe, but as well in China and hello down under in Australia. The new Skoda Fabia is introduced with several engines. You can choose between diesel and gasoline or combustion. You can choose the transmission between manual shifting and DSG automatic transmission. We picked for our clip a 1.2 liter TSI petrol engine that has 90 horsepower, a maximum torque of 160 Newton meters. This baby goes as fast as 182 kilometers per hour, but it takes it 10.9 seconds to accelerate from 0 to 100. So no, it's not a race car, it's a small car. It's good for town driving. Let me show you around. Let's look at the changes from the outside, and I can tell you it's a complete new car overall. Starts with the dimensions. The new Skoda Fabia is 9 centimeters wider than the old version. It's 3.1 centimeters less tall, and it's not even a whole centimeter shorter than the previous version, but I don't know how they made it. Inside you have 1 centimeter more space. So they made it shorter but more space inside. However, the whole car looks much more sharper. We have edges, ouch, no, just kidding. We have edges now just everywhere. And the front is shaped in a way that we already know from the new Octavia. You want LED lights? Well, they have LEDs now, but just LED daylight. Behind those headlights is just a little lamp, an H7 lamp, and the light is not too exciting. You will see it while I walk around it. The new Skoda Fabia is much more edgy, and you see it here on the hood. We have two streams in here that makes the car look a little bit more sporty and aggressive. And the whole hood has a nose now, which we know from the Octavia, and included or embedded in the nose is a Skoda badge, which I like. And by the way, it's a head. It's supposed to look like a head of a native Indian. The grille has a chrome ring now, and that's pretty much it from the front. While on the side, I can tell you, we have new wheels. You can choose between 14 up to 17 inch. Our model stands on 16 inch alloy wheels now. Well, this Skoda is obviously blue, while the other one in the back is obviously green. That's two different colors, doesn't sound a lot, but there are various other colors. And Skoda is jumping on the train of individually individualization. So you can decide which color the car, the whole body has. You can choose which color your mirror caps have. You can choose which color the roof has or which color the alloy wheels have. For instance, the green model back there has a black roof, black mirror caps, black alloy wheels, while our car is all in blue, but we have a glass roof, which you probably don't see. By the way, if you choose a glass roof, you don't have an antenna on the back. And besides that, one more thing, there are different option lines. We have 3. And the highest line is the Style line, and that's exactly the model we are driving here today. So we can show you a bunch of stuff inside, but be aware, some of the stuff might be optional. And what I really like, edgy, is this line right here, a shadow line, which gives the car a little bit more compact look. It makes the car look be more on the street. How can you tell it's a Skoda from the back? Well, all models have the C-shaped backlights, rear lights. They're all C-shaped, and with a lower model like the Fabia is, you just have one C, while the Octavia has 2 lines, 2 light lines in here, and the Superb, the highest model, the most expensive model, has even 3 lines. I kind of like how they put a black frame around the rear light, which gives the car a cool look. I kind of like it. It looks a little bit, mean, sort of, not really. Besides that, all models come with a spoiler on the roof, and that's pretty much it from the back. Still, as you can see, it looks kind of neat. What Skoda is bragging, they offer the biggest trunk in the segment. I can tell you it might be true, but I'm too big for the segment because it's not enough space for me. However, you have the possibility to fill in your luggage here, and you have space for 330 liters. Whew. By the way, the thing that prevents other people from looking into your trunk, you can easily fit it back in here, so it's not in the way if you have more goods or goods that are a little bit higher. Once you flip the back row, the back seats, you have space for even 1,150 liters. Well, I measured the whole trunk for you guys, so when the back row is not flipped, you have 64 centimeters in depth, and it's not a whole meter wide. It's like, I think, 96, 97 centimeters wide. By the way, if you want to lift stuff in the trunk, you have to lift it 66 centimeters up. Once you flip the back row and you see it, you don't have a plain surface. You have a little bit, it's about, let me see, 12 centimeters, and it goes up here. Well, once you have flipped it, you have 120 meters up to the edge of the backrest, and when you pull the passenger seat forward as much as you can, you have 160 centimeters. Well, Skoda has its claim, and it's called Simply Clever, and it stands for little features that you have all over the car that are really simple and clever. And for one thing, here in the trunk you have nothing like a little plastic thing. So it's really simple, but then it's pretty clever because you can store, for instance, bottles in here that don't scoot around in the trunk while you're driving, and I think that's simply clever. I like it. Overall, you can store up to 530 kilograms in the new Skoda Fabia. Okay, let's have a closer look inside the car. First impression, it looks like a Skoda, even like a big one, just a little bit smaller. Even so we have a more wide in the inside, it's still a compact car and you feel it while you sit in here, but it gives you a spacious feeling in the front as well as to the side. You find not really new materials, but Skoda tried to make the Fabia look a little bit nicer. So here we have plastics in the look of brushed alloy. We have hard plastics over here that is supposed to look like soft touch, and we have plastics, for instance, at the grips here to open the door that are plastic and look like chrome application. However, the look is nice. The material, once you touch it, feels cheap. Not the steering wheel, it's coated with leather, but keep in mind we're having the premium version, the Skoda Fabia Style right here, so this is probably optional for all the lower option lines. The seats are quite comfortable, but overall it's a tiny car, so no fancy stuff. You have side support as well up here and at the bottom, so even this curvy streets we did here in Portugal, I didn't have any problems scooting around the seat. That's pretty awesome. By the way, of course you have to adjust the seat manually. You have down here to go up and down, or just, you know, change the backrest position. And the steering wheel is adjustable manually too. And as you can see, you have quite some variations to find your personal position that suits you well. Behind the steering wheel you find two analog gauges on the left side, the RPM meter that I don't like too much for some reason. I don't know, I just don't like it. On the right side the speedometer that goes up to, bragging, 240 kilometers. Keep in mind top speed is 182 kilometers per hour. We have power steered windows at least, and we have seated heats or seat heating with two different options. By the way, it's pretty hot in the car right now. In the center, in your focus, once you put your eyes from the street to the car, you have the infotainment display, and that's pretty new. You can't order this new Skoda Fabia with a navigation system, a GPS system anymore. All you get is a radio and optional a hook where you can hook up your Android attendee for now. Later on next year there's supposed to be a hook for an iOS operating system as well, and it's called MirrorLink. So it mirrors the applications from your mobile to the display of the car. And not all the applications of course, but just some applications that the auto industry, the car industry has said, well, it's okay for driving, doesn't disturb the driver too much. So you have different streaming services that you can, mirror as well and use the car or use your mobile phone in your car, and it's a touch screen as well, and you can even pitch once the application supports it. Besides that, we have quite some storage facilities or compartments here. Here's a half-liter bottle that fits in the door panel pretty easy. You can even store a 1 liter bottle in there, and there's still enough space for, just what you have around, a couple of mobiles. We have two cup holders right here in the center, where one is a little bit tighter than the other one, and you don't have anything that holds the bottles, so even you have small bottles or bigger bottles and they shake around. Right in front of it you find a little compartment, just enough space for the key. Over there you have the USB plug, important for the MirrorLink system or to hook up your iPhone. When I said iOS is not supported yet, it means the mirroring of the content of your iPhone to the display of the navigation system. Of course, you can listen to your music and talk via Bluetooth with on the phone. I'm sweating, I'm very sorry. That is supported, just the mirroring function does not support iOS yet. Under the parking brake you have another compartment, and it's even with a rough surface so things don't scoot around too much. We have an armrest right here that is adjustable, as you hear it, and even in this armrest there's a little compartment as well. Of course we have a gloves compartment, which is pretty big for this kind of car. And simply clever, you know the Skoda slogan, I'm sorry. You have a little clip right here to store, you know, whenever you get a parking ticket or a ticket for your parking, not a parking ticket, you can place it right here. And we have little nets right on the side of the seats where you can store whatever, or even it's usable for the people in the back. And our car, by the way, is equipped with a sunroof, which you cannot open, but at least you can close it so the sun doesn't come in too much when the sun is really bright and hot. And I think that is pretty much it, what I want to show you from the front at least. Okay, I'm in the back now. As you can see, Skoda says, or at least puts it this way, that 5 people can sit in the back. No, I don't see it. Even if you put kids in here with their child seats, and you're supposed to use child seats, and you should for their safety, there's not enough space. So we have 4 seats, and you know, okay, whenever you're at a club and you give someone extra rides, that should work, but overall there's not enough space in here. As you can see, I put the driver's seat in a position where I, with my 5'11", 180 centimeters, can sit just comfortable, and now I don't really have enough space for my legs anymore, at least here in the back. I have enough headroom, of course, and sitting here is actually quite comfortable. The seats are formed out a little bit, so on both sides, and I like the kind of stitching they have on here. Coming to options or nice stuff you have here, it's not too much. You have enough space for half a liter bottle right here in the door panel. And no, just in the door panel. You have little nets or bags here in the back of the seats. There's a tiny compartment right here, and you have handles or grips actually on all 4 seats, and even a little reading light, which I wouldn't call reading light, it's more an entry light, so the room is a little bit illuminated whenever you get in. And you can, you know, close the sunshade from the back as well. Yeah, well, it's a compact, tiny car, so no luxury, no nothing. You have ISOFIX things right here. The belt locks are pretty stable, so even kids should be able to buckle up pretty easy. And yeah, the belts are long enough, the safety belts, to put baby seats or kids seats in here and buckle them up in a safe way. That's pretty much it. You know the game, a camera in front of me and me talking, telling you something about my driving experience. So, let's go! Okay, what do you expect from a small compact car? That it drives. And it does drive. The steering is, for this segment, pretty direct, and it's very easy to steer. The car follows the direction of the steering wheel with ease, and even on the curvy country roads here on the coast that we drove yesterday, it was quite fun to drive actually. The suspension is just normal. It's not too stiff, it's not very comfortable. It is a good compromise. Yesterday we had the car all loaded, so it was a little bit rough, but today was just half of the equipment and stuff. It is what you expect from the segment. It's comfortable, but not as comfortable, of course, as any premium car. I do like the manual transmission. The 5-gear transmission, manual transmission, has nice shifting ways. They're not too long, but of course not really sporty either. Still, they're very precise and you have no problems shifting at all. But you have to shift a lot. Of course, we're having this downsized stuff, you know, which means if you want to drive just a little bit sporty, you have to shift all the time. When it comes to fuel consumption, Skoda claims that you only need 4.7 liters on 100 kilometers. Well, it took us a little bit more, 2 liters more yesterday on a route that was about 150 kilometers long. But then again, we were testing the car, so you know, you drive a little bit faster, you try to take it sporty through the curves, and you don't, you know, care too much about fuel efficiency. So I think maybe 4.7 is a little bit ambitious, but you should be able to drive the car with less than 6 liters on 100 kilometers. I do like the brakes in the new Skoda Fabia. You can really push them on the point. They give you good feedback, and whenever you want to slow down, immediately the car stops in a really good way. But really, they react to what your foot does in a really nice manner. I highly appreciate this. We're driving a 4-cylinder. The noise is really quiet inside as long as you don't really go up with the RPM. We've driven the diesel version, the 1.4 liter diesel version, and that's really louder inside, but then it's a 3-cylinder and they're, you know, normally a little bit louder from the noise level. However, all in all, I think it's a very handy town car. And it's kind of, you know, it gives you a sporty feeling sort of, even for this compact car and even for just having 90 horsepower. I do like the idea of the mirror link system. You don't have to buy expensive navigation system anymore. You can use the one that is pricey and on your mobile phone anyway. And it's nice to have it on the bigger display so that you don't have to, you know, hold your mobile phone the whole time. Anyhow, the app that was installed on our HTC phone was not convincing me too much. So it's up to the app producers to give us nice apps that are useful and good to use in the car. I'm a little bit, you know, mixed when it comes to all this. Hooray, you can stream music in the car. I mean, the idea is nice, but you know, even if you have a good flat rate, mobile flat rate, your flat rate is gone in between a couple of hours once you stream music. So it's nice to have the opportunity, but overall you want to have your music on your phone anyway. Small car, small review. I hope you liked it anyway. If you have any question about our test drive, about the new Skoda Fabia, just let us know in the comments and we will try to answer. If you haven't done so, please subscribe and give me a like for the clip if you appreciate it. I say goodbye till the next English clip. So long. Liters to fill in here, so 330 liters of luggage are bullshit. Toll.
Sarah, hast du eigentlich mal ein englisches Video gesehen?
Halb, ja.